Hey, Canucks fans, it is Canucks game day. The Canucks in the middle of their 3-game road trip taking on the Kings in Los Angeles. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take on One Take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Saturday, March the 18th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Tonight, after the game, I'll be on Game Over Vancouver on SDPN, the Steve Dangle Podcast Network. Be on that show, and I'm thrilled. My guest for tonight is popular writer Dennis Bernstein of the Fourth Period Podcast, longtime writer in LA, and I can't wait for him to join me to break down the game as well as talk about the Kings' potential playoff matchups in the first round and just talking about how well they are playing right now, which I'll get into in a second. So make sure you join me after the game between 9:45 and 10 p.m. on the SDPN channel for Game Over Vancouver. We'll talk about the Kings first, and then we'll talk about the Canucks. The Kings are on a hot streak. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, and even in that one loss, it was an overtime or shootout loss to Nashville. So they're getting points all over the place, and they've rocketed all the way to second place in the Pacific Division. In fact, they're only 1 point with 89 points. They are 1 point behind Vegas, who has 90, and they played the same number of games, 13 games remaining for both of them. Like I said, LA is 8-1-1 in their last 10. Vegas is 7-3. So both teams are starting to peak at the right time. And they're Edmonton's kind of snuck up behind them. Edmonton and Seattle are battling for third. And ultimately the loser, that will likely be the first wild card team, or at least the second wild card team. They'll get into the playoffs for sure. But it looks like that it's a 2-horse race for the first spot in the Pacific Division between Vegas and the LA Kings. Now, why is LA so good? Well, they have an excellent home record. They're 22-9-3. And they, ever since the trade, well, a series of trades, but one of them that sent Jonathan Quick away, but more importantly for them, the trade that brought Joonas Korpisalo as a goaltender back. I believe he is 3-0 since he joined the LA Kings. Yes, he is 3-0 with a 2.00, exactly 2 goals against average and a save percentage of 9.29. So already a big factor in net is Korpisalo, and therefore the Kings are going to be tough to score against tonight. I guess the other thing too is even with Kevin Fiala is going to be out tonight for a 4th straight game, you still have the usual suspects. Anze Kopitar, almost a point a game this year, 63 points in 69 games. You have Adrian Kempe and Philip Deneau, who not as old as Kopitar, but are kind of like those mid-range veteran guys playing well. Same goes with Victor Arvidsson. Then you have the ageless Drew Doughty, still 41 points in 68 games, a +12 for him. So, and then some young guys mixed in there as well, such as Gabe Velarde. So the Kings are a tough team to beat. They have they're well balanced. They work hard. They're well coached as always, and yeah, they're just kind of one of those teams where they're kind of always there. They're always strong, and a couple lean years as along with the other California teams, but now they're battling for first in the division, and we kind of always knew that the Kings would be quite good this season. So should be a great test for the Canucks. The Canucks had their own 5-game winning streak snapped with their loss in Arizona on Thursday night, so a chance to get back into the winning column for the Canucks. Now, for the Canucks, they didn't make any lineup changes for basically 5 or 6 games while they were winning. Coming off the loss, it gives you an excuse to make a change if you want to. And if you don't need an excuse, you just want to have your best players in. That's going to be the case with Ethan Bear. So remember, Ethan Bear took that puck to the face about 3 weeks ago. It looks like he's ready to come back tonight. So if that's the case, and Rick Tocchet did say there's a good chance you'll see Bear in, then obviously as a right shot D-man, he's likely not going to replace Myers. So you have a choice of Noah Juleson or Guillaume Brisebois. But the fact that the Canucks posted an interview with Noah Juleson earlier, my guess, sorry, it wasn't Brisebois. It's going to be Kyle Burrows. It's going to be Noah Juleson or Kyle Burrows. My guess is that Burrows comes out and Ethan Bear comes in. Now, what will the pairings be? Well, then do you move Bear back up with Hughes? So you go Hughes, Bear, then you can go Brisebois with Myers as they've been playing, even though they had a rough night on Thursday night. And then you go Wolanin instead of Wolanin Burrows, or you go Wolanin with Juleson. So you move Juleson off of Hughes' pair down to the third pairing, which would make sense. Bear and Myers technically are better defensemen than Juleson, so Juleson should be on the third pairing. So that's what I'm predicting that the Canucks are going to do on the blue line. They'll go Hughes with Bear, Breezeball with Myers, and then Wolanin with Noah Juleson. And that would mean that Kyle Burrows would be the healthy scratch on D. In goal, I think it's going to be Demko. I believe he's 3-0 against the Kings over the past few seasons, including a shutout last year. So I believe it's going to be Demko in net, and then you can go to Delia or whoever tomorrow against Anaheim. And then I think that up front, the healthy bodies now are Ethan McDonough and Jack Stednicka. Is McDonough ready to play tonight? I say why not? Give him a shot. It's not like he's not in good shape. He just came off a really good season at Northeastern. Yes, he's only had 2 practices with the team, but maybe that might be enough. So there's really 3 things the Canucks can do. They can stay status quo, and that would be Pettersson, Bovelli, Kuzmenko, Miller, Besser, and I can't remember who played on the left side last time. I guess it was Di Giuseppe, and then a third line of Garland, Oman, and Joshua, then a fourth line of drives between the 2 Russians of Kravtsov and Podkolzin. That's kind of how the Canucks have been rolling out their lines the last 5 or 6 games. If you bring McDonough into the mix, I would love to see him actually play up with Miller and Besser on the second line. I've talked about that before, just to see what he can do. But the safer guess is to bring him in for Kravtsov and put him on the fourth line with Podkolzin and Dry. So that's one thing. Then if Jack Stednicka comes in, he can come in as a center or a winger, and then you have a few more options with him. So my guess, if I had to guess now, is that McDonough will play tonight for Kravtsov. And if that's not the case, I expect to see him tomorrow. Otherwise, why is he on the trip? I expect to see him tomorrow to play in Anaheim, depending, of course, on how it goes tonight. So Canucks fans, give me your score prediction. I originally, at the start of this road trip, said the Canucks would lose this in extra time. So I'm going to say they lose 3-2 in the shootout. I'm going to say that Canucks lose 3-2 in the shootout. I'd say that Kuzmenko gets the first goal. Why bet against him right now? And I would love to hear your score predictions. First Canucks goal score predictions in the comments. I'll do my best to react and reply. Then tonight, after the game, join me on SDPN for Game Over Vancouver with my guest, Dennis Bernstein. So hope you guys can join me for that. Hope you guys enjoy a great game and hope you enjoy a wonderful day in the sun. I know Gail and I are going to go for a nice lengthy walk this afternoon. In the meantime, thank you to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform Personal Training Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you. Always appreciate you and never take you for granted. So score prediction, first Canucks goal scorer in the comments, and make sure you join me tonight for Game Over Vancouver on SDPN. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.